Sean Spencer. We on air, people. We are live. And welcome to Live with Sean Spencer, your boy. Yo, so glad to be here with you guys.
That sun shining on you. Always put yourself in a position where the sun shines on you.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer. You see it right there. We on air, people. It is your guy. You know him in the building. Host of Off the Wall Sports, getting it done. Forgive me. Let me fix my camera, get everything together. All right, we are good to go. What's up, people? How we doing today? What is going on with you? What's going on in your neck of the woods? You know who it is. I love this. I got to get out my guy, Jay Red, because he just sent me something, and I'm definitely going to bring it up on air, man. But look, we got something special today, man. I'm so excited to be back with you. It's been a minute. I know it's been a while, but your boy is back, man. He is back. We're live. We're direct. Getting close to that time of the year. So, you know, I had to rep the Washington, that W, baby, on the back, because we doing big things, man. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I cannot wait to get into it. Got to shout out my home girl who's got a birthday today, the coolest cat on this side of the Potomac. You already know who it is, my girl Janae Strother. So we definitely gonna get into that. I'm gonna talk to you about some Hall of Fame, man. I put it up there a couple days ago. The Hall of Fame game is August 6th, ladies and gentlemen, which you know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, that means the Hall of Fame inductees are right around the corner. I know y'all want to check that out, man. Got to check that out because it's gonna be dope. And one other thing, man, I did a little something not too long ago where it was the best running backs in the league this year. A lot of people was feeling some type of way. They felt this way, they felt that way. They was feeling good. Well, if you thought that was gonna be interesting, you definitely going to hear who I got for the NFL's top quarterbacks for today, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely going to be something that you are going to want to see. You're going to want to hear. You want to talk about. So stay tuned. Get with me. I'm on here, baby. Tap in with me. Tag your friend. Get your people in. Let's do it. But before I get started, definitely want to sit here and hit up my guy, Mr. Anton Benson. Matter of fact, got the shirt right here. There it is. Awesome artisans, baby. Let me see if let me get it straight. Let me get it straight for my guy. Here we go. Awesome artisans, man. You need to get in touch with them. These good people. I'll be right back. Yeah, buddy, it is your guy. I am back. That is my guy, Anton Benson. Awesome artist. You're gonna want to get in touch with him. Need work done. Does a great job. Lives in the Virginia Beach area, but does travel up and down the East Coast. So glad you guys can be up in here with me, man. It's your boy Sean Spencer. What's going on, people in the comments? Nine, I see you. DJ, I see you. What's up, man? We here, man. We chatting, we talking, we getting down, we doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But hey, your boy's back, man. Gotta get out here. You know, you see it right here. We on air, man. We live, man. I'm so excited. Got a couple things in the works going down in the future, man. So I'm kind of hyped about what it is. But you know that season's coming up, man. We in the middle of July. So you know the football season is right around the corner. So you know I'm hyped. You know I'm excited about it. So I want to get down with what's going on, man. Chat with you and do a little something. And recently I hit y'all up and I said the NFL Hall of Fame right around the corner. August 6th, the Hall of Fame game is coming up. We are less than a month away. Can you believe it? Can you smell it? Can you feel it? It's right around the corner, and I'm so hyped for that, man. Are y'all excited for the Hall of Fame, man? For the Hall of Fame game? I know a lot of people are like, man, that's not football, man. That's preseason, man. That's nothing. That's fine. Do your thing. Wait till September or whenever if you can wait that long. For me in my house, we salivate. We over here like, I need it. I need that fix. I need it. That's just what it is, man. I need me some football, and I'm so excited about it, man. I've been playing, on some Xbox. College ball just came back in, so that's a little bit of something that I need the good stuff, man. August 6th, the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals will be playing. Will be playing in Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame stadium, the arena, the situation is so hyped, and I'm excited to see it, man. But another thing that we know happens during that weekend, the Hall of Fame game happens. Everybody goes to the Hall of Fame, and let me take a piss off right here. If you have never been to Canton, Ohio, in the Hall of Fame, do yourself a favor. If you love this game, if you love football, go to the Hall of Fame. You absolutely need to, man. Go visit it. If you're a lover of the game, if you love everything about the aura, the whole surroundings of it, you need to go to the Hall of Fame because it is absolutely, it is 100% worth it. 100% worth it. I went there with my dear Cat Hughes. We went there with it there in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is another place I definitely advocate. You definitely got to go there too. But I went to the Hall of Fame, and let me tell you something. Canton, Ohio, it is everything is cracked up to me. It is. I mean, every exhibit, the busts. It is even more exciting than I ever thought it would be, and it's so crazy to look at the wall of all the different people in there trying to find this guy, that guy. Who? Oh, he's here. He's there. Boom, boom. So excited, man. So excited to see all the cool people that are there, and you are going to want to check that out. So definitely get a chance to go, but won't be there soon. And if you're gonna go, best time to go, I would say off season. But if you want to see all the spectacle, you definitely want to go August 6th, the Hall of Fame game. Everything's gonna be there. Now look, the other part of that outside of the game, because in the Hall of Fame game, normally it's two random teams. You might not get any of the real of today's stars and everything, because you know how that goes in the preseason. You're gonna get some of tomorrow's superstars potentially, but we'll see how that plays. But the one thing you will get is those inductees. And let's take a minute right quick to see who is going to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame inductees of this year are a couple of guys that, if you've been watching football over the last 20 years, you know most every one of these names. Okay, Drew Brees, the great New Orleans Saint, who holds several records, several all-time records, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You have Larry Fitzgerald, bop, 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 hands, great wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. Came so close to getting himself a Super Bowl ring. I know Santonio Holmes, he got a little bone to pick with that dude, but it's all good. It's all good, man. Great catch. Yo, and then the next one, I'm in the Carolina area, and this name is revered in this area. Luke Kuechly in the building, one of the premier linebackers of his day. The guy did so much film work. He knew the game, came out of Boston College. Great linebacker. Adam Vinatieri. How many game-winning kicks did he kick? How many Super Bowl winning kicks did he kick? This guy, I mean, this is one of those guys that, there's not a lot of special teams guys that get in there, especially not a lot of kickers. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking Jan Stenerud of the Chiefs, Ray Guy, who I think is the only punter to ever get of the Raiders. To be honest with you, there might be a couple more. I'm not sure, but those are the two main ones I know. So to have a kicker get in there, Adam Vinatieri, well worth it. Shout out to that guy. Definitely deserve it of the position, and he's in there. And look, we're going to definitely spotlight all these. There's one other guy that's on that list that some of you that are more recent might not know this guy. Some of us that are way back, I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up with this guy. He's on this list, and it's long overdue. Roger Craig, ladies and gentlemen, let's definitely throw them hands together for Roger Craig. Great San Francisco 49er running back, is absolutely so long overdue for him to get into this position. So glad he did. I wish I had that video of when I think it was Charles Haley and Ronnie Lott, who surprised him at his house. And they said, yo, you've been inducted in the Hall of Fame. He was so excited. I mean, there was a lot of time where a lot of people over the years were kind of debating, man, when is he going to get in? The guy is electric. But if you look at it, there's a couple numbers in there, because we all know this is a numbers business. A couple numbers in there of running backs that may kind of push them back. Like he's not top 10 all time in rushing touchdown. I think he's not even top 25 all time in rushing touchdowns. I think, he never really had that dominant year. I think his highest rushing total in the season was 1,500 yards. All quality numbers, without a shadow of a doubt. But at the same time, when you're looking at the Barry Sanders, the Emmitt Smiths, the Walter Paytons, the Jim Browns, even the Frank Gore, the great ones, the really great ones, he's not one of those guys that you would typically look at if you're looking at those numbers. But I would argue, as somebody that was the start of the running back that you see today, this guy was the golden child. This guy was him. And let's get into it, man. The Hall of Fame spotlight of today is going to be Roger Craig, ladies and gentlemen, because there is no Marshall Faulk or Curtis Martin or any of these guys that come today without a Roger Craig. Roger Craig in 1985 was the first running back in NFL history to have 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 passing yards in a single season. 1985, he had 1,050 yards on the ground and 1,016 receiving yards, on top of the fact that he also had 92 receptions as a running back. So when you really think of some of these guys today, you think of the Marshall Faulks, you think of guys that can come out of the backfield. They can not only run the ball, but they can also catch it out of the backfield. They're dangerous for both sides. And you're sitting here like, oh man, these guys are electric. None of that happens if it wasn't for a Roger Craig, who originally did it in the West Coast offense. And that is something that one of the things that when you look at a running back, as somebody that played a running back, I know, I mean, it is crucial, obviously, run the ball, hold on to the ball, X, Y, and Z. But if you can also be a threat in the passing game, that's dynamic, because they don't know if you're running the ball. They don't know if the play's gonna be a run. Sometimes if you're getting a guy in, think about like a Christian Okoye, when they brought him in the game, stack the line. They're not doing anything else but running the ball. That's just what it is. They might play action off of him, but most likely they're going to run the ball. When you bring in a guy like this, or a guy like Roger Craig, or like a Marshall Faulk, okay, they could run it, or maybe they can hit us in the passing game. And we talk about it nowadays. You look at a guy like Saquon Barkley, who is such a mismatch. Bijan Robinson, who we talked about, was the NFL's execs and coaches and all that. They're picked for the number one running back in the league now. He is the offspring of a running back like a Roger Craig, and that is so exciting to think about what Roger Craig brought to this game. So let's look into his numbers. I mean, look, this guy is a part of the all 80s team. Okay, he is the first player in NFL history and Super Bowl history to score 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl. 2 receiving, 1 rushing. That was Super Bowl 19 when the 49ers beat the Miami Dolphins 38-16, and Joe Montana was the MVP of that game. In 1988, he was the Offensive Player of the Year after he had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. I think it was 2,036, where he had his career high 1,500 yards, 1,502 yards that season. They went on to win the Super Bowl that year. I believe it was what was the score that year? Was it 20? It wasn't 23-16. I have to look that. Oh my goodness. That I know this. 42-10 was the year before. 55-10 was the year after. 20-16 was it? Oh man, this is gonna kill me. I gotta go back and look that one up. But that's the one where Joe Montana had that great drive down the field late in the game. Jerry Rice was the MVP. Oh man, that's gonna kick my butt, man. I gotta get into that, and I'm gonna bring that to you. Do not worry about it. I'm definitely gonna get that. But 1988 when they beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl, he was the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year. The guy was amazing, integral part of the West Coast offense. And what he ended up doing was creating a mismatch. You had linebackers at that time. Linebackers, the Derek Thomases, Broderick Thomas, some of those faster linebackers were starting to come into the league. But for the most part, you just had guys that were really big, guys that were strong, good. Carl Mecklenburg's, Monty Coleman's, Wilbur Marshall. He was kind of an LT. Those guys can kind of run, but for the most part, you had guys that can just square up the middle. They get in the middle. But if you get that running back out in the open and get them on a route and have them run one-on-one with them, those running backs of that day were a little slower. Roger Craig was somebody that was a mismatch. He was a mismatch. He was a problem for these linebackers. And once you get him kind of coming on that wheel route, coming on that arrow route, coming out of the backfield, and then kind of crossing the face of the linebacker, all of a sudden that quarterback can now dump it off to that running back, and you're getting 5-10 yards, and all of a sudden that drive is moving quickly. He was one of the first running backs. I would argue to say the first that really did that without having to run a screenplay. You know what I mean? Without having to sit there and dump it all, they just quickly dump it off to the running back, and he's getting a lot of extra yards for you. He was huge in that offense. Like I said, a part of the 1980s NFL All-Decade team. Roger Craig was elite. Okay, and coming out of Nebraska, it came out in the 1983 draft. Everybody knows, the Elways, the Kellys, the Marinos, Eric Dickerson, Darrell Green, all those guys that came out of that draft. He was a 49th pick, so he was in the second round of that draft, and it was very underrated, very little known that he was the guy that came out in that second part or it's just the second round of that draft, and it was. When you really go back and look at it, and you look at that draft, I mean, it was littered with stars. I mean, stars, and we've seen how many Hall of Famers and things, and adding him in is amazing. I'm loving it. I love every bit of it, man. They got him there. So the guy played 11 seasons in the league. Obviously, came in 83, played from 83 to 90 with the 49ers. Got himself 3 Super Bowls. Super Bowl 19, Super Bowl 23, and Super Bowl 24. Had over 7,000 yards on the ground when he was San Francisco. I think 7,064. Caught 508 passes and had nearly 4,500 yards. I think it was 4,442. I think it was. The guy. You want to talk about the definition of balance? Okay, running the ball between the tackles, catching it out of the backfield. This guy was a dual threat at running back, and a lot of people, I think, it's very under appreciated the fact that it's taken this long for him to get to the Hall of Fame, but definitely underappreciated. But it's due, and just for that time that he had over there, I think he should definitely go. In 1991, he ends up going to the LA Raiders, just spends a year there. Funny enough, him and Ronnie Lott both went to the Raiders in 1991. That's when, free agency and all those things started to come about. Players started to move different places. You see Charles Haley, who was also with the 49ers, he ended up going over to the 49ers a couple years later and winning another Super Bowl. To the Cowboys a couple years later, winning another Super Bowl. So guys definitely moved. That dominant team. Montana ended up going to the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Marcus Allen with the team. There's early 80s was really fun as far as player movement. Somebody that loved trades and moving guys all around and this and that. That was a big part of that, and it's pretty cool to see. And Roger Craig was definitely one of those first kind of Plan B free agent kind of situations where. And didn't move that far. Obviously, San Francisco and LA are, neighbors and whatnot. So he was right over there. But then in 92, he goes to Minnesota. Plays 2 seasons there, 92, 93. Helps the Vikings get to the playoffs in both years. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in 92, the Vikings played my At the time, they were the Redskins. We were the defending champs. We ended up beating them in the Metrodome after going 9-7 that season. We beat the Vikings. Then we had to go to Candlestick, lost to the 49ers, his former team. So the irony in that stuff. But it was just crazy, that he was able to still have success elsewhere. Never was able to replicate the success that he had in San Francisco with his other teams, but he did have a 3-year career after his time in San Francisco. And then in '93, he retired. His career totals: 8,189 yards on the ground, 4,911 yards receiving, 73 total touchdowns. The guys deserve it. And numbers aside, I think one of the things that we need to recognize about him, and I'm very big in advocating for players. Yes, we know if the guy has the stats, he needs to be in the Hall. I understand that. But I'm also somebody that advocates for players that were the first. I will always say this. I know people will definitely disagree with me and they'll come at me. Matter of fact, let me get it right here. Doug Williams. I think Doug Williams deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, you look at the stats, he ain't even there. You look at, the guy wasn't even a full-time starter. First black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, first black quarterback to start in a Super Bowl, first black quarterback to be MVP of the Super Bowl. Regardless of how you feel about the first black blah blah, that's what it was. And for him to have that and the things that he went through to be the first, and now you look at the league and half, if not more than half, quarterbacks in the league are black. He opened the door to a time before that where people didn't even think. People automatically moved you to another position. They didn't think that we had the capacity to lead a team or the fortitude to handle those tough situations. He showed it can be done. Not only that, he showed it can be done on the grandest stage of them all against that year's NFL MVP. So that's just me. But going towards this one, Roger Craig, definitely. He was the first running back to rush for 1,000, have over 1,000 receiving yards. And I think it needs to be recognized that how great this guy was. Because to be honest with you, the running back that we have today, I don't think you have that, or at least it doesn't come as quickly as it does without a Roger Craig. Now, mind you, the NFL now is a passing league. It's more wide open. So eventually it would have happened. But to have that in that day, and you really have to add the context of, if you, in my 80s babies, my older cats will know, the 70s and the 80s were I form, toss left, cross buck, wham, you know what I mean? Run, 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 and then play action off it. It really wasn't, you really weren't throwing the ball out to your running back unless you did a screen where you faking the run, dropping back, letting your lineman release, and your running back release, and you're throwing it over to that guy. You weren't doing that as much as we see it now. Now it's commonplace. Now you run a screen, every couple drives or whatever. That point, you really weren't doing it. The running back was in there to literally do what was in the name, run the ball. And now it's more wide open, man. So shout out to Roger Craig for being the first to do that. And hey, I know all the running backs of today are definitely excited for that, because now you have cats that are like the Roger Craig, and now it's everybody, every running back, the Bajans, the Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, all of the running backs, all the star running backs, even I'd say Jonathan Taylor, all of the star running backs from today are pay homage, or should pay homage to the great Roger Craig. And the fact that he finally made it into the NFL Hall of Fame, long overdue, ladies and gentlemen. But that's my 2 cents. So look, that is today's Hall of Fame spotlight. Stay tuned. We are going to definitely spotlight a number of these other guys. Obviously, like I said, the Hall of Fame inductees for this year: Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and the great Roger Craig. they all were inducted. And August 6th is when the official ceremony happens. God, I'm excited. I'm hyped. Let's see it happen. Let's see it come. Let's see it go. But look, we are going to take a quick breather, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, take a quick break, man. Take a quick break. Relax, kick back, keep everything in front of you. You know how we operate. Hey, football season is right upon us. I say it's here. Okay, for me, it's here. It is here. It has entered the building. No more knocking. We're kicking through the doors. Let's get it done. All right. Today, let's see. Today is the 13th. So in 4 days, I believe the 17th, the Seattle Seahawks start their training camp. I think San Francisco is the 18th. So we're talking about in 4 days, all of this stuff is back, and all the way between the 17th and I think the 28th. By the 28th, all of the NFL will be back as far as training camp. And like I said, August 6th, less than a month away, football is back, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide. Yes, yo, but look, we got to take a breather. But with football coming back, that means, ooh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Let's Talk Football's coming back, and I know you're going to want to see that. So stay tuned, man. Check this out. Yeah.
Episode of Let's Talk Football.
Yep.
I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football. Season 3, we are back. We are back.
That's right.
What's up,
Here we
Mom?
go. Mr. Nick, I want the smoke, Rosario.
Hey, what's happening, kids? How we doing?
What up, Ben?
Janae, Sean, thanks for having me.
We may play talk football and basketball. Great.
Is Carson back?
Everyone played to the last play.
Yes.
So do we. Like Ravens, Blues.
How hard is it for this guy? You know what I'm saying?
I would take the
Like we can't back up.
I know
Maybe you guys need to start wearing cream.
In the building, let's go! All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football. Yeah, buddy. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? You see it right here, baby. We on air, ladies and gentlemen. And I am so excited to have y'all in the building. Yo, this is Off the Wall Sports. You see it right there, Off the Wall Media. And over there, all the way over. Let me try to... it's in the corner. Off the Wall TV, we here with you. Shout out to Bree and Art doing their thing on this for show. And ladies and gentlemen, you saw we just talked about the Hall of Fame spotlight. Shout out to the inductees of the Hall of Fame, August 6th. Hall of Fame came back. I can't wait. I'm here, baby. I'm ready for it. Yo, but we also, since the season's coming up, and obviously there's things left and right. People want to talk. People want to chat. I've been in a lot of these rooms, and people are just they don't want to say it, but they are just clamoring for some football. They just in these rooms on TikTok arguing left and right and blah blah. You don't know what you're talking about, and this person's the best, that person's the best, and this person's gonna be great, and I can tell you because of what happened last year. And about all this stuff is jargon. I do what you do, okay? For me in my house, I'm very much wait and see. What happened yesterday ain't gonna happen tomorrow. Because if you looked at 2 years ago, nobody would have thought that Drake May would have done what he did. This guy would have thought.
I wouldn't have thought it. I don't know. But I know what I saw in college. And I know if you get him in the right situation, he was solid. And we saw what he did. And look, everybody has their opinions. Everybody has their this and their that. And now I'm going to tell you, and I really know, and I did. Squash the hype. Okay? Let's get into it because everybody has a say until the day when they get back on the mic, get back going. So, hey, I'm back and I got something that I want to talk to y'all about, man. So, talk to me. Come join me. Get down with me. Hopefully, y'all are in here. What's going on to everybody that's with me? I got to talk a little bit about the top 10 QBs in the NFL today. Now, listen, there's going to be a lot of speculation. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to sit here and have their 2 cents, say, no, I don't agree with that. No, this guy is better. No, this guy is this guy is that. Look, at the end of the day, this is all just a list. And not only is this just a list, this is not my list. This is the list that was brought to you by the NFL coaches, the execs, and all those people that are close to the game. They're diving into it. They're giving you what they think it is. So don't shoot the messenger, okay? Do not shoot the messenger. I'm just here bringing you what they're saying and having us have a little conversation about it. So let's talk to me. Who are your top 10 QBs in the NFL today? Not all time, not from their career up to this point. I am basically going on from last year into this year. Who is the top from right now, right where we're at? A lot of people would go with the Super Bowl champion, Sam Darnold. He's played great over the last couple of years, and I'd argue winning 14 plus games in the last couple of years says something about him. A lot of people will always default to Patrick Mahomes, albeit he got hurt and the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs last year. So wonders, can you still keep him up there? You know, a lot of people will definitely jump to the Burrows and the Lamar Jacksons and shoot, even the NFL MVP Matt Stafford. Who knows? Is it one of those young quarterbacks that came in the league a couple years ago? The Drake May, JD5, Caleb Williams bunch. I don't know. Let's see what they had as their pick. Again, this is the NFL execs. This is the head coaches. This is the scouts. It's those people that keep that eye on the game at all times. So let's just see what they had to say about this list. And we're going to start with some honorable mention. Now, there's a number of names I put on this honorable mention. And I got it. Let me start here by saying this, okay? People have a hard time when they look at these lists to take their own personal biases out. They have a hard time taking their own personal opinions and the fact that they don't like this guy or they really like this guy and they want to put him above this and X, Y, and Z. This is not that, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the people that are watching this, studying this, being around it to the 9, this is what they are saying. The execs, head coaches, and the scouts. Okay? It's not a fan vote. This is their vote. Just clarifying. Let's get into it. All right. There are the honorable mentions. All right. I'm going to kind of throw these names out there in the honorable mentions because some of these honorable mentions, these are kind of the lower. I don't know if people think they should be on this list, but it is. People receiving votes, people that are kind of on the fringe. I'll go with the Daniel Jones. I'll go with the CJ Stroud. I know my guy 9 is kind of be like, wait a minute. Wait, CJ Stroud, what? He's on the list. Bo Nix got his team to the AFC championship last year, albeit he got hurt in the divisional. Got his team to the AFC championship. Okay? With that defense, if he can replicate what he did last year, that's my dark horse for the Super Bowl. So we'll see. That's actually not even my dark horse. That's one of my favorites in the AFC. If he can do that, we'll see what happens with the Chiefs. But yeah. So you see, those are the really lower of the low. Okay. Now let's look at some real honorable mentions in this thing. Okay. This is where a lot of people are going to have a little issue with where they think things are. You're going to have names like Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, we saw what he did with the Jags, got to the playoffs last year. Brock Purdy, albeit the injuries, we've seen he's been to the Super Bowl. We've seen he's had success when he's healthy. Jordan Love, A lot of people looked at him as one of the potential MVP candidates going into last year. Injuries and other issues prevented that. Jalen Hurts, somebody that I would argue potentially should be in the top 10, but this is not on your career. This is on what last year coming into this year. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls. Obviously, he's got the victory. So I would definitely argue put him up higher. But again, not my list. This is their list. Baker Mayfield. And I first and foremost, I don't know how I have so many Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans that are friends and all this, but I have heard so many things about this guy. I have heard that he is just the cat's meow, if you will. All right. But shout out to Baker. I mean, hey, I've loved this guy from when he was at Oklahoma, winning the Heisman. I loved the guy when he was at Cleveland, making the commercials, getting them to the playoffs, and dominating the Steelers in that playoff game. Then, went to the Rams, did good, then came over here and has done great in Tampa Bay, man. Shout out to him. So I definitely think he deserves love without a shadow of a doubt. Give him his due for sure. Got to come to my neck of the woods. This is not his jersey. No, it is not. This is Sam Howell. Shout out to Sam. Sam, you my guy. JD5. Oh, yeah. A lot of people, hey, look, and I know my Washington fans, when they see this, they are going to be livid. Really? He ain't a top 10 quarterback? Oh, that's just because you like these guys. This ain't my list, number one. Number two, 2 years. One, he gets into the NFC Championship. The second one, he's hurt for most of the season. I can't grade you if you're not there, if you're not on the field. Best ability is availability. Fortunately, he wasn't on the field. So him being just off this list, I'm okay with that. And the last guy that's just off this list, and a lot of people hear me iffy about, like I mentioned, is Sam Darnold. Just took the Seattle Seahawks to the Super Bowl and got them the victory. Just after coming from a 14-win season with the Vikings and then a 14+ win season with Seattle, Midi could argue in the last 2 seasons, he's definitely elevated his game. Number 11 on this list, I could see that. If it's top 10, I could see him at number 11 with his recent play. And that's where we're going to leave it. He is just off this list. But when you look at the other 10 guys on this list, maybe you'll understand why. Again, let me know who are your top 10 quarterbacks on this list. I'm very eager to kind of see where you guys stand in all this. Let me hop over here to Facebook, see if anybody made their voices known on this, because I want to know what y'all thinking about this. Let's hop back to it. All right. Number 10 on this list. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Number 10 was the number 1 overall draft pick in 2024, Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears. He is number 10 on this list. A year ago, he was unranked. People have had him even higher than this spot, but I think this is solid. First year, didn't have the right coaching staff. It was kind of a struggle, didn't do much, but he shows signs of life. Like his play is kind of erratic, but it's also deemed very dynamic. When he gets it, he always gives you a chance. He has 11 touchdowns thrown, or at least 20 yards downfield, and that's 2 more than any other quarterback last season. He reduced his sack total from 68 to 24 year over year, too. I mean, 13 interceptions on 1,130 on 1,130 career passing. That's the next one. Like, his playmaking, we know how great he is. We know how he has the ability to be a substantial playmaker. And we've seen in games that he's been able to elevate his squad. Him being 10th on this list, I don't have a problem with it. There are times where, yes, like I said, he's wildly erratic. There are times when you're just like, what are you doing? But then there's also times when you're sitting here like, I believe we have a chance. He just seems to make it happen. Did it at USC. Sometimes that got him in trouble. We know this guy was a former Heisman Trophy winner. Sometimes you would do things and you're just like, oh God. I mean, the definition of gunslinger. Okay. But he also gives his team a chance. Now we've seen with Ben Johnson on the squad, he gives the Bears a shot. I saw it up close and personal. Okay. Beat my daggone Commanders in FedEx. There you go, Nick. There's your one. Yo, we got to move up on this list to the number 9 pick on this list. Shout out to my Lions fans. Alex Loosemore. Shout out to my guy. You see him. You know who it is. A part of that blockbuster trade from a year ago with Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff. Okay. He is as good a quarterback in this league as you're going to get. Over the last 2 years, he is just as good as any quarterback in the league. Nearly 10,000 yards passing. I think 9,100, almost 9,200 yards, 71 touchdowns. And he's only 4 quarterbacks had more than 4,500 yards passing in a season. And Goff has 5 of those. Okay. The guy is electric. We've seen what he's had with his receivers. We see how he's able to work that offense. This was a team that 2 or 3 years ago, maybe going back as 4 years ago, left for dead. You bring this guy out there, and Goff has totally revamped this team, totally taken them in, getting them to the championship. I think 3 years ago, getting them to the divisional with an incredibly hurt team. I mean, this guy has been electric. He wins games. He is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I would argue if we were doing since he's been in Detroit, he definitely has to be upwards. Okay. From last year and kind of how things are going, I get it because he doesn't really have the ability. He's not a scrambler. Okay. And he gets pressure in the pocket and you can bring him down. That was one of the things that we knew once we played him in the divisional round a couple years ago. If we get him in that pocket, if we can get pressure on him, he's not escaping. So that could be a major issue for him. But if you look at the passing yards, if you look at the way he's able to just get the ball around to all his receivers, Jared Goff is a legit player. He is 100% definitely deserves to be on this list. And I would even argue that he can be higher on this list. There are people that voted in this that said he could potentially be the 5th on this list. So I can see that. I like that. For me, I would put him up maybe 6 or 7. I would put him up maybe 6 or 7, all things considered. But I think I'm good with how they have that. He's here and he's 9th on this list. Let me know what you guys think. Jared Goff, number 9. Number 8, ladies and gentlemen, and I know a specific somebody that if they saw me talking about this list, they would think this is my list. This is not my list. Because if this is my list, he'd be number 1. Just kidding. But number 8 on this list is the AFC representative in the Super Bowl, their quarterback, Drake May, at a University, UNC, baby boy. Went to the New England Patriots and in his second season took the Patriots to the Super Bowl, had a near MVP run, only got beat out by Matthew Stafford. The guy took a struggling team, a team that had only won, I believe, 4 games the year before, and took them all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, people will argue left and right, oh, their schedule was terrible. They had to play the Jets and the Dolphins 2 times a year, and they're 20. I'm sorry. I can't stand that argument because everybody wants to sit here and make that argument, act like, these guys are terrible in the league and these guys can't do this, X, Y, and Z. Hey, I can't help who we put in front of you. If a team wins it all and you got teams you can't help who you put in front of you, period. That's where I stand on it. If you want to use that as an asterisk or whatever, by all means, go ahead and live and die off of that. For me and mine, if you line them up, knock them down. That's the way I look at it. I'm not going to sit here and go against the fact that oh, they got to play these teams and these teams are struggling, whatever, what have you. That's not it. That's not it. So this guy embodies size, athleticism, accuracy, playmaking. I argue, and I argue this to the T, and people would still get on me for this, that I think Drake May could have easily been the number one pick in the 2024 draft. Caleb, legit. Drake, JD5, legit. And I love what he's done in Washington. I have argued this from the day that he came into the league. The guy has the ability to run. He has the ability to throw on the move accurately. He's tough. He's athletic. The guy can do it all. And as we've seen in a heavy run style offense with New England, the guy was the X factor. I mean, come on now. May is the third NFL quarterback since 2006 to lead the NFL in total QBR, completion percentage, and yards per attempt. The others were Tony Romo in 2014 and Tom Brady in 2007. I mean, come on. That's great company that we're putting this guy in. The guy is extremely talented, okay? We know that there is multiple teams wanting to trade up to get Drake May earlier on, and shout out to New England for keeping him. And look, now that he's got A.J. Brown coming in this year, I love what Vrabel's got going on. Build up that defense. Give him another weapon. Watch out for New England. Everybody's going to say, oh, we're going to see what they're going to do now. They got a tougher schedule. Let's see. Let's see. They might regress, but as long as he stays healthy, I would argue that as long as they have a healthy Drake May and a healthy team around him, I'd argue they'll be back in the playoffs this year. So I like him being at 8. Potentially, I'd move him up to 7, but I can stick with him at 8. It would be good to go. Now, for your number 7 pick, ladies and gentlemen, this is what they had him at last year. A pick that a lot of people like to argue about because of the success or lack of success of his team in the playoffs. But this guy has been elite from the minute he stepped in. He was elite in college. Justin Herbert. Okay. We all know he came out of Oregon. We all know he has not been able to get really past a certain bar. Has not won the division. Has not really been able to elevate the team overall outside of where he's at the playoffs. I will say this right now. Okay, mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. That make me crazy. Watch out for Justin Herbert. There is one X factor in the Justin Herbert thing, and then this whole situation with him, and that's his coach. Okay, everywhere that Jim Harbaugh's gone, eventually they've gotten it done. You look at him when he was at Stanford, turned a fledgling team into a legit team. Then he comes to the NFL, goes to San Francisco. Comes potentially one play away from winning it all against his brother and the Ravens. Then you go back to him, going back to his alma mater, going to Michigan. Battles through a number of tough years to finally get those Wolverines a national championship. Or 3 years ago now. And then you have him here. He's building up his team. He's got a legit defense. He's got the quarterback he needs. They can get to the playoffs in one of the toughest divisions in the AFC and all of the NFL, to be honest. I already know people are dogging the Raiders, but I'm not doing that yet. Watch out for Justin Herbert. Watch out for the Chargers. Watch out for an AFC West champion in the future. I'm just saying, don't crucify me. Don't crucify me. Look, guy's got the size. He's got the ability. We already know the guy can play. Nobody questions his ability to play. Nobody questions his talent. Nobody questions how great this guy could be. Okay, obviously, you start getting him with the right play callers. You start getting him with the right OC. You get him with the right situations. He can be great. We've seen it time and time again. I think once they fit all the right pieces in with Justin Herbert, I think they're going to be all right. Okay? Last year, they lost to the eventual AFC champions in the playoffs. Okay. So we're in, it's a quality matchup, and they lost. It wasn't one of these situations where they were terrible. And the zero playoff wins, it haunts him absolutely. But a lot of times they say he plays young. This guy, let him get right and get comfortable. I think you give him a legit, consistent, strong run game. I think this guy can be all right. Give him some more weapons on the outside. Let's see what happens. I may be wrong. You guys let me know your opinion on the situation. But I got eyes on this guy. I think Herbert could be the dude coming up. And watch out. That's their number 7. Number 6, and I got to shout out my homegirl, man. It's her birthday. I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna shout her out a little bit later. But I gotta give her love, okay? I am not a fan of this man because this man owns my team. Okay, if Aaron Rodgers owns Bears, Dak Prescott owns Washington. I can't say two words. I can't say anything else about it, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. This guy is a fixture in the MVP voting. This guy has led the league a number of times throughout the season in passing yards. We've seen this guy has been elite. Now you give him 2 quality receivers in George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. You give him a great running back and North Carolina's own Javonte Williams. Thank you, Denver. And now you're going to give him a little bit of a defense. We'll see what happens, but this guy is always up there on the passing list. He's always up there as far as best offensive leaders. NFL MVP. I mean, they're always talking about him. He's always in the position to be one of the best passers in the league. And, to be honest with you, I don't think he gets his due. And I know Washington fans will, it's a sacrilege. They're going to hate me for sitting here coming out and saying this, but you know what? It is what it is. I love football more than I love anything else. Talent is talent. The guy is legit. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think this guy, I don't think there's anything, I don't think anything's going to fall off from him. I think as long as he has that offense, as long as he has those weapons, he's going to continue to be elite. Now, can he? I think he might be the NFC's version of a Justin Herbert. Can he get past, the first or second round of the playoffs? Can he go deep in the playoffs? Obviously, I'm personally biased. In Washington, I don't want to see him go farther in the playoffs. But there's only a certain amount of times where you can keep getting at the door, keep knocking the door without eventually getting in. We always see how legit these guys are. I thought it was going to be a huge hit, them losing Micah Parsons last year, but it didn't hurt. They still continue to dominate. So, injuries aside, if you keep this guy going, I think you have to give him his credit. Yes, interceptions have been an issue. You know what I mean? We've seen that. But the guy can throw, man. The guy can get touchdowns. Production is prolific. We've seen it. I mean, 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns in the last several seasons. The guy just gets it done. Hold on. The guy just gets it done. You see that? He gets it done, and he's legit. Yeah, I can't talk about it. I get all frazzled when I'm talking about Dak Prescott. So let's move on. Let's move on to the number 5 on this list. Number 5 on this list, Lamar Jackson. And listen, a lot of people are going to have an issue with this being that it's last year coming to this year because half the year he was out. When he came back, he brought the Ravens within 1 game of making the playoffs. Was when 1 game of winning the division. Now you also say, okay, you had a struggling Bengals team, you had a struggling Browns team. So really, are we really gonna give them that much credit? But yes, because the running game wasn't great. Obviously, Derrick Henry, after coming off a 1,900-yard season the year before, struggled with most fumbles he had in his season. So really, on top of a lot of other injuries, the coaching issues with Harbaugh, who is now with the Giants, Lamar had a lot on his plate, and still, once he got back in there, once he got right on track after having a 1-6, 1-6 schedule record, you know, Lamar was able to get those guys back on the right foot. Now with the new head coach, new OC, new offense. Well, are things going to be different? Who knows? I couldn't tell you right now, but I do think whenever you have Lamar, you have a shot. Lamar he brought those guys to the playoffs. It was exceptional last year, each of the last couple of years. We've seen how close he's been. He said it when he first got drafted. I want to bring these guys to the Super Bowl. That's yet to happen. But I look at him kind of like I look at Dak, where it's like you continue to knock on the door. You knock, you knock, you knock. Eventually, you're going to have to bust that door down. And I'm going to be honest with you. I understand why he's at 5 because of how things were last year. But I think you can make an argument that he could be a little bit higher on this list. Now, let's go up to number 4 on this list. A lot of people would push this guy higher. Okay, and I understand why. A lot of people push him lower, and I understand why. And it goes back to the phrase that I always use: the best ability is availability. This guy has an issue with availability. He gets hurt what seems to be every other season. Every other year, it seems that this guy gets hit. And when you see that type of performance, it stinks because we've seen how great this guy was. You've seen with him when he was at LSU and what he was doing and dominating and taking them to the national championship and winning it all. You've seen him win the Heisman. You've seen him come in and become one drive away from potentially beating the Rams and taking the Bengals to their first Super Bowl. You've seen him have the ability to take a team, even though they were struggling, and bring them all the way up. But then you've seen him get hurt and not be able to finish a season. And it really frustrates you because you're looking at it and you're like, this guy could be great. Joe Burrow could be the guy. He could be the top quarterback each year. If we're talking talent alone, Joe Burrow's in there. But his durability concerns have always been an issue. And that is why I can see where he's at number 4. And I think that's generous. And I think it's more on expectations of him being fully healthy and having a comeback season than anything else. Now, obviously, yes, you have Higgins. Yes, you have Chase. You have them signed. You have them ready to go. But there's always been concern about that line. Can your running game sustain? Will your defense, now that you've lost Hendrickson to the Ravens, will your defense dominate? Obviously, Dexter Lawrence in there. Jonathan Allen in there on defense in the middle to kind of clog up that run. Do you have any edge rushers? What is going to happen with that? We've seen what he's been able to do with certain holes on his team. Now, can he do it this year? That's going to be the question. I will always give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I think he can be great. And this is another one of the teams that I think they're going to win their division, if we're going to be honest. And I think if he stays healthy, watch out for Cincinnati going forward in the playoffs this year. I think they could be nice right now. Number 3 on this list is last year's and the reigning NFL MVP came out of the Super Bowl. We know how great these guys are. They have gotten much needed help trading Jared Verse for the amazing Myles Garrett, and crazy trade that brought Myles Garrett to the St. Louis Rams, and also potentially there's rumors that a certain guy that was pointing to a finger after he got his Super Bowl, a certain Aaron Donald might be coming back. There's rumors. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not gonna come out here and try to put stuff out there. But if he comes back, Rams going to Super Bowl. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If he comes back, we'll see. But the guy is elite. You've seen the kind of offense he's able to run. Puka Nakua, obviously, there's been some off-field issues. Hopefully, they can get those things corrected. Devontae Adams, we know he's legit. You're stacking up this defense with a number of great players. I mean, the team is built for it. The only thing, in my opinion, that could potentially thwart this season is the back of Matt Stafford. If his back starts acting up and he starts getting hurt and he goes down for a significant amount of time, I think that could be the only thing that's going to stop the Rams. I'm just saying he is the guy. He is the reigning NFL MVP. We've seen he's taken this very Rams team to the Super Bowl and won against number 4 Joe Burrow. We know he can do it. The question is, will he do it? And that's what we're going to have to find out. That's what we're going to have to see. Who knows? But I'd put my money on him staying healthy. Now, another one, number 2, and speaking about staying healthy, I think we got to say this. This is going to be very interesting, and it might get a little backlash from what happened in the last year, from what happened with the struggles last year. Patrick Mahomes, number 2 on this list. Obviously, a lot of people have him as number 1 without even question. They won't even acknowledge any other number. Some people have him lower than number 1. I've seen some people, and even some people on this list, that will put him as far as 9 because of the injury, because of last year being a fall off season or a struggle with season, everything like that coming into this year, which is quite interesting. For me, it's hard to even see him at 2, to be quite honest, because you know how great he could be. But if you think about the overall, and you think about the fact that we're really looking at what last year coming into this year, so we don't know about the health. We don't know if he's going to be the same. Now, we also know that you can't really bet against this guy. The guy plays great. Okay, the guy can get it done. And until we see otherwise, it's hard. It's very hard on where you put this guy in. This guy obviously is being already compared to Brady. Speaking of Hall of Fame weekend, people are already talking about putting this guy in the Hall of Fame. Already talking about putting this guy in the top 5 all-time quarterbacks. They're already talking about doing all of these great things. 267 touchdown passes to tie the second all-time QBs in the first 9 seasons, only trailing Peyton Manning, who has 275. And he's third in passing with 35,939 yards and a 9-year start. I mean, the numbers are there. The rings are there. The Super Bowl appearances are there. All this stuff is there. But if we're looking at last year, coming into this year, that's where there's the issue. So, him being at number 2, I'm okay with that. It's going to be interesting. I'm very eager to see some of y'all's stances on him being number 2, and if that is too low for you, it's too high. What is y'all's opinion on it? Because I know there's a lot of people that would definitely have some issue with him being as low as he is. And hey, and it's fitting that there's one guy above him, and the guy that can never beat him in the playoffs, but has beat him on this list. And it's fitting that it happens on my girl's birthday. Mr. Massive Piece of Magic himself, Janae Strother, the only person that she could ever rival her Dak Prescott, and that's her baby. That's the one she loves, Mr. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, last year, kind of, did well. Coach got fired, so there's going to be something new. Obviously, he's always battling with Mahomes, getting to the AFC Championship, always knocking at the door, trying to get in. A couple years ago, he won the NFL MVP. This guy out of Wyoming, dual threat, just as dominant on the ground as he is passing. The play is never over if you have him on the field. I mean, the guy has always been one of the best quarterbacks as soon as he's come into the league. And look, we've seen him at the doorstep. What is it? A couple AFC championships, was not able to get over the hump. The reason why the rule changed for overtime, because of that epic game between the Chiefs and the Bills a couple years back. I mean, look, this guy is absolutely deserving of all the accolades that he gets. We know how great he is. For him to be considered number one on this list, I know there's some people that might not agree with that per se, but hey, let me know where you stand. I don't have a problem with it, especially with how things went with Patrick Mahomes from a year ago. There's a lot of people I might move up on this list. A lot of people I might move down on this list. I don't know. But Josh Allen being your number one quarterback on this list, again, a list made up by the NFL execs, a list made by the coaches, the scouts. This is their list. This is what they have. And the real quick recap it. At 10 is Caleb Williams. At 9 is Jared Goff. 8 is Drake May. 7 is Justin Herbert. 10 is Dak Prescott. 5 is Lamar Jackson. 4 is Joe Burrow. 3 is Matt Stafford. 2 is Patrick Mahomes. And the number one quarterback on their list is Josh Allen. Top 10 QBs on their list. Crazy? You with it? Let me know what you think. Hey, but that's the end of that one. We're going to definitely dive into a little bit. One more thing for you. One more thing before we get out of here, man. I'm excited. Football season's back, so I got to chit-chat it up about it, man. But we got one more little thing we got to talk about, man. Again, this is your boy Sean Spencer on Off the Wall Sports Media. Shout out to all I'll call us Western wear. Your boy was guzzied up in some cowboy stuff, but hey, ain't no cowboy. But yo, check it out, and we got one last word.
Howdy, y'all. Sean Spencer here. Today we're going to take a look at a little piece of Southern country right here in Midwest home, downtown Chicago.
Looking for boots? They've got them.
Looking for chaps?
Not a problem. Looking for hats? They've got that.
Find your piece of country living.
Yeah, buddy. One last word. Yo, shout out to all the people that's topped in here with me. A couple of y'all was passing through. Had my girl Sneaky in here. Had my dude Nine in the building checking it out. Holla at your boy Archimure. Definitely hopped in here, man. Appreciate y'all getting in here on the vibe, man. I'm going to try to talk a little bit later today. I might actually also have Truth Be Told. I got to get with my guy and see if he's interested in having that conversation. Might get with my buddy Andy, see what he wants to chop it up about. I don't know, but I'm getting back into the game. The season is nearly here, and I'm so excited about it. But my one last word today is I got to do something that I have yet to do, and I want her to know how much I care. So I got one last thought, and that's happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Janae Strother. Happy birthday. Hey, hey, hey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yes. Happy birthday to my homegirl, Janae Strother, one half of the dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football, the author, the creator, the whole embodiment of Let's Talk Football. There is no Let's Talk Football without Janae Strother. Sis, you already know I love you to the moon and back. I absolutely am so thankful to God that brought you in my life, because I would not be here doing any of this had it not been for you. That one day I'm coming out the bathroom, wiping my hands at the academy, and you say, yo, you want to talk football? You want to do a show talking football? And it was like, oh, the heavens opened up like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. You are a godsend. You are an absolute blessing in my life. And I am so, so thankful for you. Yo, happy birthday to you. I'm going to shout you out, give you a little call a little bit later. Definitely show love, man. I'll send this out to you. And any of y'all that don't know Janae Strother, okay, first and foremost, diehard Cowboys fan, also a big Raiders fan, loves Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, huge fan of all her Dallas sports. It was weird because she grew up near me in Northern Virginia. I don't know what happened with that. They all love the Cowboys. I don't get that. Her and the Bishop, you know. But shout out to Janae, man, because I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of times in life, you know, some of us, if you're like me, you know, you're in your bubble. You know what I mean? You might have a gift, you might have something that you really want to do, but you need that accelerator. You need that thing that's gonna open that up, you know, the key that's gonna get it. Janae is that energy, she is that accelerant, she is that thing that gets me that turns the car over when it's you add a little Janae and it's zoom. And every single person that I've talked to, every single person that I've been in there with, they're like, yo, when I first kind of showed them something in Janae, they're like, this person right here, yo, that's it. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Janae, you are the light to the candle. You are the Janae, you the homegirl. You it. That's it. You her. Okay. A lot of people like you him. No, you her. Okay. You where it's at, man. Janae, I hope you have the best birthday ever. Okay. I hope you get everything you ask for and more. I can't fix my mouth to say anything positive about Dallas, but I can fix my mouth to say I love you dearly, and I hope everything goes right for you on your birthday. I look forward to talking Let's Talk Football with you, sis, and I look forward to getting down this fall and rocking with you because you already know season 9 is about to be fine, but season 10, oh yeah, that's gonna be heaven, and I can't wait for it, man. So yo, gotta take a minute, shout out my homegirl Janae Strother. Happy birthday, sis. You know it's all love. We'll definitely get up soon and chop it up and get down and do what we do. But hey, I gotta get out of here. So hey, I appreciate you. This is your boy Sean Spencer, Off the Wall Sports. We gotta get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everything y'all got going on. Holla at your boy. We'll be back a little bit later talking some more sports. So I'll get at you. Peace, my people. Yay.
Gentlemen, it is your boy, Sean Spencer. We on air, people. We are live. And welcome to Live with Sean Spencer, your boy. Yo, so glad to be here with you guys.
That sun shining on you. Always put yourself in a position where the sun shines on you.